The star of Little People, Big World, Amy Roloff is in critical condition after suffering a heart attack. Amy Roloff is undergoing medical treatment after being admitted to the hospital. Marek is grieving for Amy Roloff while she fights death. I'll tell you all about it. The heart and spirit of the Roloff family, Amy Roloff, is well known to fans of Little People, Big World. A woman whose bravery, humor, and unshakable love for her family have inspired many of us. Amy is currently struggling for her life. She had a heart attack and is in the hospital right now in critical condition. According to rumors, her husband, Marek, has been by her side and has been crying because he is so afraid of losing her. It's difficult to discuss, but I believe it's critical that we unite as a community to offer Amy and her family love and support during this trying time. Thus, the film for today will delve further into Amy's situation. We're going to discuss her amazing life, the heart attack that shocked her, the impact it had on her and Chris, and how we can all support her. I believe it's crucial to stand back and discuss Amy Roloff's background before delving into the specifics of what's now going on. Amy was born in Michigan on September 17, 1962. Her life had been unusual from the start. Chondroplasia, a type of dwarfism that impacts bone formation, was the diagnosis made for her. However, you are aware of Amy if you know anything about her. She was never characterized by that. She attended college and graduated with a business degree after growing up in a loving environment. She lived life to the fullest because she was determined to do so. She married Matt Roloff, who also has dwarfism, in 1987, and the two of them started a family. They settled on Roloff Farms in Oregon, which would eventually become well known due to their television program, and had 4 children: twins Jeremy and Zach, Molly, and Jacob. The Roloffs let the world into their lives in 2006 with TLC's Little People, Big World. We have seen Amy through some really difficult situations throughout the years. She and Matt divorced in 2016 after 28 years of marriage, which wasn't always easy. However, it didn't break her. She continued to be there for her children and grandchildren. She finally fell in love with Marek once more. It seemed like Amy was finally receiving the new beginning she so richly deserved when they were married in 2021. The reason this news of her heart attack is so devastating is because you simply want her to be alright after everything she's been through. Alright, let's discuss what transpired. This is the difficult thing to discuss, but I swear I will do it with tact and consideration. It has been reported that Amy had a heart attack a few days ago. She is now 60 years old. And although she has always been energetic and active, anyone can have a heart attack at any time. It serves as a sobering reminder of how erratic life can be. Here's what we know, asterisk. Far away. When it occurred, Amy and Chris were at home. They were enjoying a typical day, perhaps spending time together or preparing dinner. Amy complained of shortness of breath and chest pain, 2 symptoms that are typical of a heart attack, when she first started feeling unwell. If you know Chris, you are aware that he is a steady, composed individual. However, he made no hesitation at that point. Realizing the gravity of the situation, he immediately picked up the phone and dialed 911. Paramedics arrived at their home in a matter of minutes, and Amy was hurried to the medical facility. When they arrived, they saw an asterisk. What Chris feared was confirmed by the physicians. A heart attack occurred. For those of you who may not be aware, a heart attack occurs when the heart's blood supply is cut off, typically due to a clot in a coronary artery. Treatment must be received quickly since the heart muscle begins to perish without oxygen-rich blood. Fortunately, Amy arrived at the hospital promptly, and the medical staff managed to stabilize her. Most likely, they carried out an emergency technique to restore blood flow, such as an angioplasty. However, despite that prompt action, Amy's condition remains critical. She is currently hooked up to machines in the intensive care unit that are keeping an eye on her breathing, heart, and other vitals. Her life is still in jeopardy because of her critical state, and the doctors are doing everything they can to keep her stable. She is battling death, and it will require all of her power to win. The reality that her perseverance is evident in the fact that she has made it this far, but she is still in danger. Imagining Chris through all of this is one of the most difficult aspects of this story. He has reportedly been crying because he is so afraid of losing Amy. Is it possible? After everything Amy had to go through to achieve happiness with him, they had only been married a few years when they found themselves in this situation. When the paramedics arrived, Chris was there, telling her to hold on while holding her hand. He accompanied her on the ride. He had remained by her side ever since they were in the ambulance. It's the type of love story that both inspires and breaks your heart. Since Chris Marek plays such a significant part in this narrative, let's take a moment to discuss him. You may recognize Chris as the person who restored Amy's life if you've watched any of the most recent seasons of Little People, Big World. They met at a mixer for singles in 2016. Amy wasn't sure if she wanted to date again at first. She had been cautious since her divorce from Matt, but Chris waited. He was witty, compassionate, and truly curious about the real Amy, not just the TV personality. They eventually fell in love. One of the most romantic events in the history of the program was their wedding in 2021, which took place after Chris proposed in 2019. With family and friends in attendance, it was hosted at Roloff Farms, and you could see how joyful they were. Chris couldn't help but smile as Amy wore a stunning white gown. She said to him in her vows, "You've taught me the true meaning of love, and I'm so thankful to have you." And Chris assured her that he would support her no matter what. Now, however, that pledge is being put to the ultimate test. Since Amy's admission, Chris has been at the hospital constantly. Images of him in the waiting area, his face etched with anxiety and his eyes stained with tears, have appeared online. According to one account, he sobbed outside her chamber because he was so worried that she might not survive. We haven't seen this aspect of Chris before. A lot on the show. This is different from the normally calm guy who fixes motorcycles and tells jokes. This is his partner and wife, and he fears losing her. Chris has hardly eaten or slept since it happened, according to those close to the pair. He's been asking the physicians a ton of questions in an attempt to figure out what's happening. Additionally, he has been in charge of keeping the family informed by phoning Amy's parents, children, and anybody else who needs to know. There is a lot of to bear, and it's clearly having an adverse effect. He is, however, being strong for Amy despite his pain. He's talking to her, holding her hand, and declaring his love for her. That type of love is the only thing that will get Amy through this. However, Chris's tears aren't solely motivated by fear. They are about his feelings for Amy. Amy said on Instagram a few months ago, in honor of their anniversary, "Chris, you're my rock, my best friend, my everything." And now he's demonstrating that he won't abandon her, no matter how difficult things get. It serves as a reminder that this is a real couple going through a real problem behind the scenes and the television drama. Of course, there are other people who are currently supporting Amy besides Chris. During this scary period, the entire Roloff family has united. Jeremy, Zach, Molly, and Jacob, Amy's children, have all visited her at the hospital. Even though they are now adults with their own families, they still view her as their mother, the person who brought them up, and cherish them despite everything. Zach has been particularly tearful, as has his wife Tori and their 3 children, who are also stars on the show. "We've always been close, and you can tell how much this is hurting Zach." He told a reporter, "My mom's the strongest person I know. She's been through so much and she always comes out on top. I believe she's going to fight this with everything she's got." Additionally, Tori wrote on Instagram, "Amy is the center of our family. Please keep her in your prayers." Jacob, Amy's youngest daughter, has been more vocal on social media, tweeting, "Mom, you're a warrior." Molly, Amy's only daughter, has been more reserved about it, but she has also been in the hospital, bringing her husband Joel along for support. It's evident that no matter where life has led them, Amy's children are united in their love for her. Even Jeremy, who has been absent from the program in recent years, hurried to be with his mother. Amy's ex-husband, Matt Roloff, shared a picture of Amy with their grandchildren on social media, adding, "I'm sending all my love and strength to Amy." Their divorce was difficult and they had been at odds for years, but they've worked hard to keep things amicable for the benefit of their family. She is an amazing woman, and I have no doubt that she will battle this. It's a sophisticated gesture that demonstrates that respect still exists between them despite their past. This also includes the grandchildren. Amy has always been involved. Grandma to Jeremy and Audrey's children, Ember, Bode, and Radley. To Zach and Tori's children, Jackson, Lila, and Jose. She is the type of grandmother that reads stories, makes cookies, and pamper them. In a previous interview, Tori stated that Amy's grandchildren are her entire world, and I'm sure she's thinking about them as she battles for her health. In order to ensure that Chris is always there, the family has started working shifts at the hospital. They are providing him with food, embracing him, and simply being a system of assistance. It's a lovely sight and serves as a reminder of the Roloff's close-knit bond despite the passing of time. I believe it's critical to comprehend Amy's experience, so I want to take a brief digression and discuss heart attacks in general. Her tale isn't the only one here. The goal is to increase awareness so that we are all ready if someone we care about experiences something similar. What exactly is a heart attack, then? In essence, it occurs when one of the blood vessels becomes obstructed, typically by a blood clot, to the heart. The heart muscle begins to die without oxygen when there is no blood flow. It causes more harm the longer it is left untreated. Time is crucial because of this. Every minute matters. Chris's prompt dialing of 911 most likely saved Amy's life. The most typical symptoms include shortness of breath, chest pain or pressure, and occasionally pain that radiates to the arms, neck, or jaw. However, the signals may be less obvious for women. Feeling queasy, exhaustion, or lightheadedness. This is the reason why heart attacks in women are frequently overlooked, which is concerning. Amy was fortunate to experience shortness of breath and chest pain, as those symptoms are obvious warning signs. In fact, the leading cause of death in the United States for both men and women is heart disease. It kills over 600,000 people annually and is more common in those over 55, like Amy, who is 60. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, and stress are risk factors. We don't know Amy's whole medical history, background, but she has consistently appeared fit and active. Even those who take good care of themselves might have heart attacks. Since Amy's heart suffered a severe injury, she is currently in critical condition. To determine the extent of the injury, the doctors are most likely performing procedures like an echocardiogram or an ECG. If the blockage was severe, she might have had bypass surgery or even a stent implanted to clear the artery. Recovery is dependent on numerous factors. The extent of the heart attack was her general health and the speed at which she received care. After a few days in the intensive care unit, patients usually transfer to a standard room before leaving for home. However, it's difficult to predict how long Amy will be there because she is still critical. It will be difficult for her to recuperate if she survives, which is what we're all hoping. She will require cardiac rehabilitation, which is similar to physical therapy for the heart. She may also need to take statins or blood thinners, alter her diet, and increase her physical activity. For someone, that might be a significant adjustment for someone like Amy, who is constantly on the go. She is tough though, and I'm sure she faced it head-on. I want to emphasize that you should not wait if you or someone you know is experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath or chest pain. Dial 911 right away. Being safe is preferable to being sorry. And such prompt action was crucial in Amy's case. Now, since the reaction to this announcement has been amazing, let's change the subject and discuss the fans. Little People, Big World. Been active for more than 15 years, and Amy has a sizable fan base. People who feel as though she is a part of their lives have grown up watching her, and they're really supporting her at the moment. Love and support messages abound on social media. Thousands of comments have been left on Amy's most recent Instagram post, including, "Praying for you, Amy. You're so strong. You've got this. And we love you, Amy. I hope you recover quickly." The same is true on Twitter. Hashtags such as, "Pray, Amy's" and "Amy's Strong" are popular. Fans are sharing their greatest memories of Amy from the program, with one fan writing, "Amy, you've been like a mom to me through my TV screen. I'm crying just thinking about this. Please fight." Instances such as teaching Zach how to cook, confronting Matt after their divorce, or dancing at her wedding to Chris. The extent to which she has impacted people's lives is astounding. She is more than just a famous person. She has given her supporters a sense of recognition, particularly those who have experienced hardship or have impairments. Some admirers have even donated flowers to the hospital or created internet prayer chains. It's really nice that people are honoring Amy by making donations to Hard Heath charity in her honor. That speaks much about her character. Someone who, even from individuals she has never met, inspires affection and loyalty. In an announcement to the producers, the Little People, Big World cast and crew said, "Amy is a cherished." It's obvious that this isn't just a story for them. It's personal. Now, I know some of you are wondering, what does this mean for Little People, Big World? We're devastated by this news and will be thinking of her and Chris. With more than 20 seasons to date, the show has been a mainstay on TLC since 2006 and has changed significantly over the years, particularly following Amy and Matt's divorce. Today, it primarily concentrates on Zach and Tori and their children, but Amy's. The show's dynamic could change if Amy's health prevents her from filming, but I think the producers would handle it respectfully. They've always been good about giving the family space during personal moments, like when Zach and Tori's kids were born, so if Amy needs time to recover, I'm sure they'd show her some consideration. Amy's relationship with Chris, her life off the farm, and her bond with her grandchildren have all been central to recent episodes. Work around it. Perhaps concentrate on other family members for a while, or even halt production. However, it's too early to tell. Amy's health comes first, not the show, and I believe the fans would agree. If she recovers, I could see her returning stronger than ever. Perhaps she could even use her experience to raise awareness about heart health on the show. It would be so Amy to turn a scary moment into something positive. Let's not speculate too much for the time being. As we wrap up, I want to think about Amy's legacy because it's what's giving so many people hope right now. Amy Roloff is more than just a reality star. She's a survivor. She's lived with dwarfism in a world that isn't always kind to people who are different. She raised 4 children while running a farm and being on TV. She went through a painful divorce in public. And Roloffs have always been private when they need to be. Amy is someone who perseveres no matter what. And this heart attack is the biggest challenge she's faced yet. But if anyone can overcome it, it's her. She has a spirit that never gives up. And even now, as she lies in that hospital bed, I bet she's thinking about her kids, her grandkids, and all the people she loves. Amy found love again when she thought it might not be possible. Type of strength that can get you through anything. Amy's statement in her book A Little Me, "Life isn't always fair, but what you do with it matters," keeps coming to me. That's Amy in a nutshell. I choose to keep going, to keep loving, to keep living. I think that's what she's doing right now, battling to keep living. Okay, guys. That's the tale so far. I realize it's heavy, and there's a lot to comprehend. I'll keep you posted as we learn more, but for now, let's concentrate on helping Amy and her family. If you want to show your support, post a comment on her social media, and Chris or the kids might see it and it could make their day. You can also donate to a heart health charity like the American Heart Association in Amy's honor, or you can just say a prayer and send positive energy. Whatever feels right. Amy is currently fighting death, and Chris is grieving for her, but they're not alone. We're all in this together. Let's hope for the best and keep her in our thoughts. More update. Why Little People? Marek has a strong presence, so it's easy to understand why fans of Little People Big World like him more than Amy and Amy Roloff of Little People. Big World is correcting the record regarding Roloff Farms and her ex-husband Matt Roloff's new rules for 2024. I'll explain everything. Fans of Little People Big World liked Marek right away. In fact, some thought he was even more entertaining than Amy Roloff. Without asking, the two frequently bring positivity to the show and make a great couple. But some devoted fans believe Chris might be more likable than Amy. Amy needed Chris the most at that time in her life. They first met at a paint and sip speed dating event, and after a few challenges, the 60-year-old won Amy over, and they were able to exchange vows. The success of Chris and Amy is still supported by many TLC viewers, despite Chris and Amy's frequent appearances on Little People Big World. Fans of the show were a little wary of Cho when he first appeared because many were interested in his sexual orientation and the reasons behind his relationship with Amy. But viewers have grown to like Chris throughout the season because of his kind nature and relationship with Amy's family. In fact, Chris has become more. Although some fans find Chris annoying, he has expressed his desire to be involved in his grandchildren's lives and even went above and beyond to support Zach Roloff at his weightlifting competition. Chris is the only reason Amy has improved. and his popularity over time has been largely attributed to his sincere efforts with the Roloff children. The little people, vague world actress's impatience and occasional callousness toward Matt Roloff were never in doubt. But Chris, who is without a doubt the most compassionate character on Little Individual's Big World, has reintroduced Amy to the idea of a happy existence because he always makes time for people and genuinely enjoys getting to know Amy's social circle. Fans of Little People Big World believe that Amy has begun to relax because of Chris's kindness to her and her family, even though she can be tense at times because Matt decided to sell Roloff Farms instead of transferring ownership to one of Amy's relatives. Amy Roloff of Little People, Big World is correcting the record regarding Roloff Farms and her ex-husband Matt Roloff's new regulations for 2024. Amy Roloff, who never holds back, was particularly direct after Matt Roloff announced that he was imposing new rules on the farm. The most recent season of his children has been a little unpredictable. Although Amy has already admitted that she regrets giving up her share of the land, it is safe to assume that she has no regrets about marrying Chris. Despite their divorce, Amy continues to voice her opinions when they are truly important. Matt is known for coming up with new ideas and going above and beyond to improve Roloff Farms. But after a big project, Amy was frequently the grumpy mother who had to reprimand her kids and get things back to normal. The series depicted Matt and Amy's problems for many seasons, so their marriage was never stable. Overseeing the family property. Whether it was cutting back on the scope of major remodeling projects or attempting to use Amy's idea for pumpkin salsa, the two could not agree on anything. In a recent episode of Little People, Big World, Matt shocked Amy by telling her that Roloff Farms would undergo significant changes. A major family dispute prevented Matt from giving Amy her share to their sons, as Amy had hoped. But now Matt has chosen to convert the large house into a bed and TLC viewers noticed that Matt opportunistically left Zach and Tori off the list. But Amy told Matt that he must be high for thinking any of his 4 children could stay at the house for free. The news shocked Amy and their kids, but Matt assured them that anyone in the family could still stay at the house for free. In the Little People, Big World episode, Matt said that any Roloff family member could reserve the rental home for free and they could schedule family time. Would want to return and live on the family's land after such a personal argument. Zach and Jeremy tried to reach a compromise with their father, but when the father assessed the twins' worth, they chose to proceed. Zach moved out of state to Battleground, Washington, and Jeremy purchased a farm 8 minutes from his childhood home. Matt then attempted to sell the land to outsiders, but no one was willing to pay the $4 million price tag, so he had to come up with a backup plan. Amy Roloff and Chris Marek became the most popular Little People Big World stars after she divorced Matt Roloff and fell in love with the head of a real estate company. They felt that it was time to get married after dating successfully for a number of years, and the most recent LPBW episodes show their new life together. Amy's concerns about the new regulations are understandable. Hopefully, the next Little People Big World episodes will reveal more. Amy Roloff wants her marriage to Chris Marek to end. Her book Little People, Big World made her a formidable matriarch. She had dated Matt Roloff for over 10 years before they filed for divorce in 2017, but soon after, love knocked on her door. According to Amy's most recent article, the couple may be having problems in paradise. Are things about to end for them? Continue reading to learn all the details. Eventually, they were married, and TLC depicted their nuptials as a special episode. They have been living together as husband and wife for the past 2 seasons, and fans are happy that Amy Roloff is content after all this time. However, everyone went crazy over her recent Instagram photo, leading many to assume that the couple was having issues in paradise. Amy Roloff shared a black and white photo of herself and her partner on Instagram. According to the matriarch's subsequent post, the couple had been sick for days with sinuses and a cold. Since those things had been negatively impacting their health for a while, they wished to move on from them. After reading the full caption, fans exhaled with relief and wished the loyal couple a speedy recovery. She and her husband Chris are trying to get things over with. She said that as a result, the LPBW supporters began to believe that they were discussing a supposed split. In addition to these updates, Amy posts about her adventures with her husband on social media. This year, they traveled across multiple states in nearly 2 weeks on Chris's bike. Are Amy and Chris moving because of a property dispute? The property dispute between Matt and Zach also ensnares Amy Roloff and Chris Marek. The most recent episodes of LPBW show that the father and son have not been getting along. Amy provides for her son Zach, but her husband Chris enjoys a positive relationship with Matt and even helps him sell the farm. The family dynamic has been in chaos due to the property dispute. When a viewer asked if Chris and Amy would like to move into a larger property during the most recent Instagram Q&A session, Amy Roloff responded that she would love to, but that she and Chris will only want to move into a larger home in a few more years. The viewer is led to believe that the couple wants to leave because of the property conflict has been interfering with their relationship. The couple did not confirm or explain their decision to move into a large home, but the fan base has been hoping that the family will change their ways and let the past go. No more today. What are your thoughts on this gossip today? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And please subscribe to our channel to receive more updates like this one. Thank you.